Welcome back to the Whiskey and Wisdom Podcast. I'm your co-host, Chris Kellum, and I'm with
Tyler, y'all.
And today we are bringing back one of our favorite guests.
Shout out. TJ Dunn here. Thank you so much. That means a lot. One of your favorite guests. It's always an honor to talk with you guys and just talk life and see where it goes.
Yeah, since we decided to rebrand the podcast a little bit, still Whiskey and Wisdom, obviously. We don't always drink whiskey anymore. We've grown up a little bit.
That's which is fun.
We should. Exactly. New studio, everything in here too. So we're bringing back some of the old guests that we've had fun times with. A lot of people have grown over the last 3 years. I know there's been a lot of changes in your life. So we wanted to bring you on for that reason.
Well, I appreciate it. It was an honor to do it the first time. I got a little emotional sharing my journey. Hopefully I won't cry this time, but hey, if I do, it's special. More points for you all.
So we're talking about not drinking whiskey today. In general, Tyler, what are we drinking? I saw the bottle and I was like, I'm down to try anything.
My other vice outside of whiskey is energy drinks. I know I shouldn't drink those as often as I do either, but here we are. Podcast stage, you gotta do what you gotta do sometimes. But we are drinking Gorilla Mine today, and it is specifically the black cherry vanilla flavor.
Which is interesting.
Yeah.
I've never thought of cherry and vanilla together.
How's it doing? How's it
I don't know.
This is one of my favorites.
Okay.
We brought on the owner of NutriPrime about a year ago, and so I get all my energy drinks and recommendations from him.
Nice.
It's not bad.
I'm going to sip my water here real quick.
Yeah.
Like, I think if it was regular cherry, I wouldn't like it, but the black cherry definitely
Yeah.
has a little
A little bit of
oomph
vanilla
to
in
it.
there.
Gives you some mystery.
Yes.
Yeah.
It'll keep us awake and running for a little bit longer.
Exactly.
So, it's been a while. What's been going on with you, TJ?
What's been going on? Last time I talked, I know as far as occupation wise, I was working in insurance for a great guy named Benny. That it's funny, that guy has always been a mentor and a role model in my life. And as he continues to grow, I continue to just chase him, hang on to his coattails because I love just taking wisdom from other people. And it was when I told him that I can no longer work for him, it was just one of those things. We got to wakeboard in the morning before we went into the office. This guy just knows how to work hard and have a good time in the process and know how to grow other people. And I looked him in the eye after we got done wakeboarding. I was like, Benny, to be like my hero, I can no longer work for my hero. You know, like if Robin wants to be Batman one day, he's got to go do his own little spin-off thing. So right now I'm working in home care. Purchased a franchise about 2 years ago called Synergy Home Care. We are an in-home non-medical care provider. So we provide such services as companionship, housekeeping, and personal care. And it's funny, people say you're in-home non-medical. So what do you do if you're not medical? Well, we do all the other things. You know, if you have a loved one at home that's getting PT or getting wound care, the question is, after those people leave, now what's happening to my loved one? And so we help take care of them in the meantime, whether it's driving, helping them meal prep, things of that nature, even if there's pets, helping them keep their pets, because pets is a part of your home and it's a happy place. So we can keep you happy at home. That's very important. Then to like helping them with toileting, bathing. So you're not wondering what your loved one's doing while you're doing this podcast. You know, the Synergy Home Care is taking care of mom, grandpa, whoever it is in your life. And it's a very special thing to me because I think home is a special place. And not that as you go on this journey, you learn more and more because we're really in the homes engaging with families where it was always number one is keeping someone in the home. And my strong number one, I can't even call it number two, is keeping families intact. Yeah. If you ever had to care for a loved one and that's not your gift, you didn't design your life to do so financially, time-wise, whatever the case may be, burnout happens and resentment happens. And I love the fact that we're helping people out in those situations. When you see an older couple, one's losing their identity because they're being a caregiver and they really just want to go have a walk with their friends or go out to a meal and not be concerned about being caregiver. We're providing that peace, that break. Or in this area, we have a lot of people who may have moved here to escape the winter cold, and now they don't have kids around to take care of them, and their loved ones are calling us like, we need some support. So we're giving them a peace of mind knowing that their parents are here still in the coastal Carolinas, being able to remain functioning home and being that extra support, extra set of eyes, ears, and hands while they can't be. So it's a really big thing.
Yeah, I think you touched on something really good too. At the business that I'm in, I do a lot with people that have home care as well. And one of the big things that I'd never thought of until I started like working with people who need that assistance is the companionship side of it. So a lot of the clients that we have, a spouse has passed away and the kids live in a different state, and they just wanted someone to sit with them and talk with them, go through their bills together and say like, hey, what's going on here? Just for someone to hang out with and like throw the ball in the backyard for their dog and stuff like that too.
It's very special because social isolation is a huge thing, especially as we saw through COVID.
Yeah.
And we all know just having someone come over your house, sometimes that lifts your spirits. Oh, let me clean, let me getting your body
Right.
moving, your brain thinking, and of that nature. And it's very important because also we know if your mind goes, your mentality goes, then your body's going to fall. If you're like, woe is me, I don't got anything to live for, to hope for, anyone to engage with, the rest of your health is just going to start declining. So that companionship is a huge, huge piece. And once again, if someone may be living alone, our caregivers, before they clock out, they have to say, have you noticed a change in your client? That triggers a reaction to our nurses to investigate. So we might be the first eyes to recognize some type of change and so on. And it may not be something drastic that just happened. It could have been, maybe got prescribed a new medication. Our caregivers realize, hey, Mr. Smith was not his normal self. And like, so that investigation can start sooner than later. Yeah.
So you don't do medical, but you still can assist, and like you're that eyes for those people. Because like you said, the people are living at home by themselves. No one's going to notice anything different if they're isolation.
Absolutely. And we are more of a, when someone needs us, generally speaking, there's a lot of other things going on in their life, whether needing to talk to a financial advisor, to needing physical therapy, needing some wound care type of deals. A lot of things happen. Well, what happens is we help fill in that gap, because even if you are working with PT, they do that training, then they're gone. You're working with the wound care, they're going to manage that wound, then they're gone. And what we find in this industry, it's like once that person leaves and you see someone who's kind of been spending time alone, doesn't have proper support, well, maybe the trash is piling up and they're like, hey, would you mind taking the trash out on the way out? That's not that health professional's job. And we come into play to help keep them tidy and safe at home, to keep that home a functional place for them, because while the other support's coming in, they're doing their specific role. Our role is to help keep the home a safe place by various activities
I like that.
that are outside of health, but
Yeah.
generally speaking, you still need some extra support. So it could be you lack confidence and getting in the shower as you age or something like that. And still, it could be a college student with a rotator cuff surgery.
Right.
In college, were we going to take care of our roommates if they got banged up? No,
Probably
not at all. But versus them relocating back with mom and dad, maybe it's a caregiver helping them out for the first 3 weeks as they recover in place. Maybe you don't want to take a shower, but you're fine taking a shower, but you want to do it slowly, like, and take your time. Having that extra person in the house while you're doing that could be that safety mechanism
Yeah.
that helps you still have confidence. So, because sometimes people come up to us and like, well, I don't want to give up my rights, my identity, my purpose, my ability. And it's like, no, we're just that safety mechanism.
Right.
We're there by your side. You can still do the laundry, but hey, if you need to take a break, we can finish that up for you.
Right.
You know, if you could still bathe by yourself, but you want an extra support just in case, we're there for you. And it's a lot of, we help just really fill in that gaps of day-to-day living. As the holidays roll around, because we do transportation, you may have to go to the grocery store because you want to prepare for your Christmas party or Thanksgiving party. Like, our caregivers can take you to the grocery store, take you shopping, take you to that party. So you don't become a burden on your neighbors, your loved ones, and things of that nature. So you still have a sense of identity and sense of self. We're just being a counterpart. Now we're the Robin to your Batman,
Right.
you know, keeping you going. And
I like that. And it's interesting. Like, all the points you're pointing out are things that, like, I will say probably 99% of the population doesn't think about.
no,
And that's an amazing thing in general. Like, I've been thinking through spots at work and everything, and it's what niche can you fill to help everybody get better? And I feel like your business and everything is that.
absolutely. And the only reason I think about it is because one of the reasons, there's a number of reasons why I decided to go this home care route. But
Mhm.
one of the shining ones is back in 2020, I lost my mom in the home. She was passing away because of cancer. And the last 2 weeks of her life in her home literally felt like Thanksgiving for 2 weeks because we had family and friends around. It was an enjoyable experience. I was not providing the care for my mom, we had care support.
Mhm.
So we could laugh, joke, we could have the dog hopping around the couch. We did a photo shoot like days before she passed away in the house. Neighbors cutting the grass. I always say we weren't eating out of vending machines, looking for parking, staring at strangers. We were in our homes. I even had friends from Wilmington go to Warner Robins, Georgia. I don't think any of that stuff would have happened if we weren't in the home. And when my loving mom passed away in my arms, it was son to a mother. It wasn't son/caregiver. And that's where this heart to realize that we are keeping the family dynamics intact and keeping families' traditions alive. Like maybe you have a tradition of watching football on Sundays with your mom, and you normally come over with the dog. Well, if your mom is in a facility, that might be the right place for her, but that's not where she wants to be. She wants to be at home. You don't have to break those traditions. You're still in that comfortable environment. Like once again, if my mom was in a hospital, I would not have been able to have my dog around.
No.
I would have not been able to drink bourbon with my grandfather for the first time on my front porch. Like these were memories. And so as you think about it, especially if it's that place where you're losing a loved one, man, ending on a good note, ending well, ending being son, not son/caregiver was such a blessing. And that's where I just, a lot of times people say, oh, I'm sorry I missed your mom. You lost your mom, but I'm so thankful because the journey I went on showed me how to love bigger, showed me how to love on other people.
Yeah.
So when I get a phone call, a lot of times people are freaking out like, I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. My first thing is like, what do you need? Because you're the captain of the ship. If you go down, then your loved one can't be supported. So what day works best for you to keep your identity for us to provide care? If you know every Thursday weekend every Thursday you like to go play pickleball, all right, that's when we let our caregivers come in. So you can have that moment. So you come back fully charged, ready to engage and to be that spouse, that daughter, whoever you are in that person's life.
Wow. Yeah, I didn't even thought about it from those aspects either. It's actually really powerful. And it's such a important thing for people to realize too, that you don't have to take the full burden yourself. Because the one thing that you did mention that is very true is that you don't think it'll happen, but that resentment does start to creep in when you feel like you need to be there all the time and that you have to be the caregiver and you have to keep giving all of the medications. But to be able to, like you said, keep your identity is so powerful. So you can be 100% that son or daughter or spouse for that person who needs it.
Yeah, and it doesn't have to be a consistent thing. Maybe it's just like you need a weekend away. Okay, our caregivers should be there for the weekend for you. But just wherever it falls in life for you, some people have designed their lives to be the caregiver of someone else, and others haven't. Most of us haven't,
Right.
the way the world is today. And that does not have to be a bad thing. I mean, I love it. I can't remember the book, but it's one of the end nuggets was like, collaboration is the new currency. Like we're just trying to collab with your family so you can continue to be successful at being you, the things you want to work on. And even when you are together, because some of it too is not just that person who needs the care that needs a break. It goes both ways. Both of them need a break from each other. More so is to clean that up a little bit. And I've seen it where like you have couples that, oh, she needs that. Well, he needs that. We just spend too much time together. So that caregiver becomes a great just dynamic in the house to help both of them get a break from one another.
Right.
So it's a beautiful thing what we get to do.
Yeah. And you even help with, I want to say it's like childcare almost, like where someone has like a new baby, like you could come in and help and kind of give that relief. Like, hey, I just really need to sleep before I like lose my mind.
Well, what's special is we provide care for those of all ages.
Okay.
And there's a term that a lot of people aren't familiar with, but they'll get it. It's called the sandwich generation. So you might have someone that is taking care of an older person in their life as well as a younger.
Yeah.
And the fact that our caregivers, they're trained, they're CPR certified, and you just need care. And there is a shortage in care, whether it's for child care and older care, so to speak. Because what's beautiful about this is we can grow to a quicker level of helping people be preventative and proactive, where you can't just build a daycare facility. You can't just add on to Novant. Doctors aren't just popping up every day. Where we taking a proactive approach into care, then we help create a place where the hospitals aren't getting as backed up, or if you're getting released with some support. But kind of going back to that childcare model, it's because people need support of all ages. And it doesn't matter for the childcare whether they have an element or not. It doesn't matter even with adults. We generally speak with adults. That's what there's some type of challenge that they're facing. But it's the challenge of that spouse or that healthy person in the relationship may need time helping with their kids. And we can still assist with that. You know, you have a well-trusted company with trained professionals. They're all CPR certified, even with infant CPR.
Oh, wow.
So it just works out really well for families and our caregivers, providing them extra opportunities.
Nice.
Those are, so in general, you guys are practicing and like helping families in the Tri-County area? Are you expanded? Like where could people use the service?
Great question. Currently, we're operating in New Hanover, Brunswick, and Pender County.
Okay.
And another thing to draw the attention to, it's not just in your home, it's where you call home. So we do have some people that may be in a retirement community, apartment complex, or maybe still in a care facility. They want extra support. Because once again, the health community is really bottlenecking right now, as we can see. Because like I said, you can't add the professionals as fast as you like, and as many people are moving here and things of that nature. We provide a great support to help fill in that gaps of care, no matter where you call home.
I like that. That's something that, one, I'm happy that you're able to work in this area, because this is a spot where you're right. There's so many people moving here. There's so many people that need that help and that assistance. And I would love to say we want more people to move here.
Yeah.
But it's just like anything, it'll take time. Like you can't have a family of 6 people from New Jersey all move to Wilmington at the same time.
Yeah. But that's what kind of happened to us, with COVID. We've all we see the influx of people that move here. And that's why I think that's another one of the reasons why I wanted to get in this industry, as far as a way to help with that bottleneck, to provide relief. Like one of the things that's really big when it comes to the hospital is what they call readmission. So you leave because you just had a surgery or something occurred. They don't want you going right back. And that's what happens is you get home and the doctors and nurses, everyone tells you rest, but none of us rest.
No.
None of us rest. Like if I'm hungry, I'm gonna fix the food. If the Amazon package is delivered, I'm gonna go get it. And that's where we come into play. Like we're really helping people. Hey, because most people they can be a little bit standoffish about receiving help. Well, that's fine. Let us help so you can fully regain. Like even a mother who just had a baby, you could be super mom in the next 2 weeks, but these first 2 weeks, let's rest. Let's relax. Let our caregivers help you navigate through the home so you can rest and recover and heal up, get to the better version of you. And then now you're ready to go. So a lot of times with our service, it's just to help people recover in the meantime.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be all doom and gloom or things like that. Like these are mom, dad's last weeks. We prefer not to be that case. I mean, those things definitely do happen, but that's why that proactive approach is what we're really about. And being proactive of saying, hey, I know my loved one's got an upcoming surgery. Let's talk to Synergy Home Care Cape Fear about if we can even drive them there, wait for them, drive them home, depending on if that's beneficial to that family. And then spending time with them, help them just truly recover so they can get back to having their own identity within their house by themselves, if that's the case.
So it's kind of breaking down the walls of what most people think of in-home care. It's not just elder care.
It's not.
So it's anywhere of all ages. And I think that's extremely powerful, especially for, like you said, the new mothers that have infants. The one you brought up that makes a lot of sense, thinking about after you said it, is like a college kid that having rotator cuff surgery.
Yeah.
I had that surgery as well, too, but I was still in high school. So I felt comfortable getting in the shower to do that on my own at that point, because I could yell down the hall and my mom or dad would come.
Yeah.
Right? But like thinking about that later, I'm like, shoot, you're right. Like if I would have had that happen when I was 22, 23, 24 years old, I may not have taken a shower for a few weeks longer, because I didn't feel 100% confident in doing that by myself.
Yeah. And then
So
I
that's a good
think
point.
about our military that's here as well, people who end up moving around a lot or just take a remote job for a little bit. Not really on your feet yet, and something like that occurs.
Yeah.
You shouldn't have to just uproot your life or put your life on hold. Hey, we can help you maintain and recover in the comfort of your own home. You don't have to give up your dog. You don't have to move back home. Like all those things, it becomes a great service to have. And it's no surprise, and Chris, that you said that you haven't heard much about it. Most people haven't. And that's why it's a mission that I'm taking personal responsibility. And I love that I'm thankful that you guys would give me an opportunity to speak on it, because most people don't know this exists. I didn't know this exists until I was losing my mommy.
Right.
And so to be able to get out there to tell families, hey, you don't have to wait till you are like at wit's end. Like if something happens, boom, we do a free consultation. We can talk about it over the phone, just what the journey looks like. We partner well if you are having other things like PT, OT, wound care, your house. Our caregivers are equipped to not be the only person in the house. They know how to navigate that. So it's really my passion to let people know that this exists before everything hits the fan.
Yeah. And it's not just long term, right? It's short term too that you could do.
Absolutely.
Like how short term? Like could it be like they call you up just for one day that they may need
We
assistance?
generally
or
don't
like,
do that, but
Okay.
we just have to figure out what their needs are. And a lot of it is up to us to ask the questions that they don't know. Because for us, we do see in so many different shapes and forms. I always tell people there's no two people, it's two diagnoses, two home environments, two of the same family dynamics. And those are 4 things that are really important. That's never going to be the same. But for us to be like, well, what type of surgery are you having? What is going to be the process afterwards? What is your recovery? I speaking to a client the other week, and she wanted to use us because she's having a surgical procedure, and just like, hey, you're picking me up here. It'll take 30 minutes, take me home, 3 hours, it's done. And I have to tell her, well, ma'am, you are going to be medicated. Wouldn't it be best to have someone there to make sure you're okay, to maybe fix you a meal before they leave, and just making sure that you're peacefully in bed versus, because if we tell the caregiver they're there for only an hour or 3 hours, then they're going to be done. They're going to clock out like all of us do.
Right.
But let me think ahead of this of what this really looks like. And then even the next weekend, like, or the next couple of days, would you like someone to come in and just be by your side just to make sure and navigate it from that ends? But we do just say, generally that'd be a transportation type service if somebody's just wanting us for one day. But we do have some families that, once again, they may go on a weekend trip every so often. They keep us in mind. So they're gone for 3 days, and that's when we may do 24-hour care or something like that for their loved one that may have dementia, Alzheimer's, or stroke or something like that really needs that support. But generally, most of our clients are on a ongoing basis because it's part of their life. It's, you don't go to the gym just once. You don't see your doctor just once. I mean, we are really trying to help you acclimate, whether you're recovering or if this is the rest of the journey for your life, to have some additional support.
So, question: when it comes to finding people to add to your team, like, how do you find those people? When I say how do you find those people, also, like, what kind of person would you like working on your team, helping these people?
Well, I could answer that question, but I'd rather kind of kick it to one other area.
Yeah.
Is that we have such a great team. Like, I can't be all things to my team, and that's what I love about Synergy and Home Care. I have a great operations manager that she's HR. She's just a master of all trades. She's really good at finding our key caregivers. And then we also have a caregiver manager who she's the one that is loving on them on a regular basis, talking to the family members, helping eliminate any gaps or provide any additional training. We also have a nurse that's on staff as well. And so it's a team. For us, we don't just put anyone on our team. First of all, they're going to go through 14 hours of training. So that kind of makes sure we're all marching to the same beat and shows your level of commitment. Are you showing up on time? How are you showing up?
True.
They go, that training is really, no matter how long you've been in home care, once again, make sure we're marching to the same beat. And then within that, their background check, they're CPR certified. That's something that's very special to us. We really love that people are willing to join our team. We want to bless them in their journey through care, and some that blesses them in their personal life. And that's a way that we can lead by doing that, because we don't have to do that, but we do that for our caregivers. And so we really have a great relationship by the time that they're ready to go. We don't just like outsource them. We actually know who they are. And that's important to us, because I always say that our caregivers are the hands, the feet, and the face of our business. They're providing the care. They're the ones that's touching and helping clean up and helping with bathing, dressing. They're the ones that's walking in this house every day, like, and with the smile on their face. And like I said, they can be that first line of realizing something's going on with someone's loved one. And so we do a lot of pouring into our caregivers, because we are nothing without them. We love them to death. So I have a great staff that is really helping out with that. I mean, really what we want is someone who really wants to help and compassionate, and that shows up.
Yeah.
And that's really to go that extra mile, because sometimes that's what it takes. I mean, care is not a clear-cut thing. It can deviate, can change. So having the ability to communicate and to show up with a smile on your face in a great positive way, it's amazing. And if you ever want to see some of the stories, like, I love, like, we get such great Google reviews, and the ones that mean the most to me is when they acknowledge what the caregiver has actually done in their lives, like,
Yeah.
because it's great to hear things I never think about. Like one of them is talking about one of our male caregivers that's taking the husband to the pool, and like even the neighbors see that my husband's more excited having a friend go to the gym and the pool with them and things like that. And you're like, wow, that's cool. I love hearing the stories of that.
That's cool. I noticed you've been on your social media and stuff too, that you've been going to different facilities and doing, I'm going to edit that out because I can't remember words now. Bible studies. There we go.
Yeah, I have been going to different communities and doing Bible studies. I mean, just as a nugget for anyone, man, if you're going to volunteer, do something that you're passionate about. And if you can cross that in your business, and I love the Lord, I love Jesus, I love learning the Bible. And that's one of those things that I found out was a gap after COVID, because generally it was older people that were going into these communities and doing Bible studies. And then when I heard that, because they're like, yeah, we need disco bingo and, crossword puzzles, and we don't have a Bible study. I was like, Bible study? I was like, all right, I'll show up for that. But what's really cool about it, I mean, with anyone, if you just lead with the open heart, because even when I do the Bible studies, I don't say that. I always say, I don't know everything. And the more you participate, the more we can find out what God's doing in your life, because we need to hear it. And it's been such a joy for me, because it's not me teaching, it's just me welcoming the environment. And you end up hearing like the beautiful people that are working in the facilities with the people in the facility. They start connecting with one another. And I'm just sitting back and like, wow, God, this is so cool that they're opening up, loving on one another, and just being able to facilitate that. I mean, that was my way to give back, but it's something I'm passionate about. And it's really creating a lot more like, hey, TJ Synergy Home Care, come over here. But it's been really good for business as well. There's kind of like, this helps me get in the door by giving something first of myself and my time. And they're like, hey, this is a really great guy. This is a really great company. He comes by every so often. And so it makes for an easier introduction when they introduce me to like a client that may need our services.
Yeah. It'd be interesting just talking to someone with, as we call advanced age, just to hear a Bible study from them, and just going back to just connecting with our elders. And so, because we don't get that a lot at all in our communities these days. So just having that, I think, is really powerful too.
That fires, like being in this industry where you're around people that are of older age and you see their lives changing in ways you never think, but realistically it's going to happen to all of us in one shape or form. I feel like God is just like giving me this front row seat to life. And as I articulated earlier, like no two people, diagnosis, family, what they call home. I mean, I've been able to put my mind into that. And I come back home like, babe, we need to get our finances, or hey, wife, we got to be working out every day. Like, I mean, everything. I sit back and I listen, and I learn so much of what life can look like. And sometimes it's heartbreaking. It really, truly is, to just like talking to someone, a lady's just like, I just don't want to be a burden for my husband. And like, they truly care. And the husband's like, I just love her so much. And it's so special. And but then even seeing the family where you see that there's conflict, and we're helping to like mitigate that by providing care, man, it's so special. I am honored that God gives me this front row seat to the future that I see. And it's not just for me to take for myself. It's for me to share with other people. Like, that's why I came up with that analogy about, hey, you're the captain of the ship. If you're the healthy body calling me, we need to protect you, because I've seen it where it just becomes just a lot of just family hurt throughout the process. And it's just really cool. I'm just really fortunate. There's so many stories from health to finance to family dynamics to all these different things that I never think about, but I get a front row seat every engagement.
That's awesome. That's something that I noticed too, is like I have clients that are 96 and I have clients that are 32. And so like in between there, just like the 96-year-old is like so spry and on it. And I'm like, I didn't even know you could be like, so like straightforward and know exactly what you're doing at the age of 96.
Yeah.
And there's other people that might be 76 and they're worse off than the 96-year-old. And you're just like, okay, like what's going on here? What are the dynamics? What happened in your life? Like, what have you been doing to like do these different things? I find that fascinating. I'm sure you have even more in-depth knowledge of that with what you do. So it's definitely powerful.
It is. And I mean, you also see the power of family, keeping families intact. Like generally speaking, those are the clients that goes a lot smoother when all the family's involved. And we can't be in control of that all the time, but also sometimes we can. Are we making time for family? Are we honoring our friends and the relationships that we have that can grow into something where when the chips are down, we're there for one another? And it makes me think about that. And like, even for me recently, I'm really on just on my mind and living into the future, living now how I want to see myself and making memories of that. And it's like, I tell myself when I get to a certain place, I'll do this for my family, where it's like recently I'm like, no, I'm going to do that now. I've got like this thing where I'm creating a moment with my family of bringing them all to Wilmington. And because I want to spend time with them. And if I wait, it may be too late to create these type of memories. So some of it really just makes me do a gut check or reflection. Like, okay, if I don't talk to my sister, she may not be there for me in the future, you know, but I mean, but still it really is just gives me, as I'm leaving these encounters, I'm always reflecting and thinking about like, how could I do life where I may not end up in a situation like that? Or is it inevitable? So I make sure I just have as much fun and give as much as I can and see as much as I can see, because you never know. And I think, I don't know if we talked about this last time, but you guys know that I lived abroad for a little bit.
Yeah.
And I would have been like, before living abroad, it's you wait, you save money, and I'm going to travel when I retire. Well, when you live abroad and you're going to these places, they're not American friendly when it comes to like handicap accessible.
Right.
Like if you can't walk up the mountain to see the Buddha, you're not going to see the Buddha. So it starts making you think like, hey, maybe even if this does go in debt a little bit, is this worth it? Because right now I'm as healthy as I'm probably ever going to be.
Yeah.
You know, just in relation to time. But so it things like that, you look at time different.
Yeah.
True.
I will say, I love, like, social media is crazy in general, but I love seeing your stories. And like whenever you travel, it always gives me that energy. And it's giving me that mindset too, is like, I could wait until I'm retired, or I could do it now and actually remember these experiences. Because like you've done stuff and it's like, that spiked my interest to do more traveling. And like I told my wife, because I have friends who live in Germany, they're like, you should come visit. And I'm like, I've always pushed it off and pushed it off and pushed it off. And I'm like, we're going next year. Like, you got no question. Like, we just need to go do it. And yes, we might take a little debt, but that's an experience that if I tried to do it when I'm like 50, it's not going to be the same experience as in your 30s. And you're not going to be able to enjoy it and have that memory for longer.
I know so many people, especially with what you said, you have friends that live there. They may not live there in 5 years.
Right.
And you'll be going, man, I really wish I would have went to Germany when I had the cool place to stay and locals that I could have experienced the local way with. And everything like that.
There's nothing better when someone lives there. Because when you're traveling to a foreign country, especially, you have to think to operate.
Yeah.
And when you get with a friend, like, so sometimes we come back from these trips, you're just spent because you've been trying to navigate in a foreign country, foreign culture, foreign currency, all these things. Yeah. And then like, man, you go there, you can just go to sleep in the car and they'll take you where you need to be. You're really recharged. And they're going to take you to all the cool spots. But man, what sparked me when you were talking about that is just the last trip that we went on. This is going to sound pompous and prideful, and arrogant, but it's not that. I was talking to a guy and I was like, you needed to meet me as much as I needed to meet you. And that's the beautiful thing about traveling, because the only thing we know about travel mainly is what we see on a screen.
Oh, yeah.
And that's never legit. That's never the story. And as we want to experience other cultures need to experience us as well. So to look at me, where I come from, where I live, to know about that, I'm like, it's like pollinating. I'm pollinating another country, where I think like as much as we do, that was the first time I ever said that and never thought that way. It's like, as much as I need to experience this new culture, this culture needs to experience some of me. Yeah. And we especially learned that when we were living in England, of what people thought Americans were.
Right, yes.
But then I got stuck on a cruise ship that only had British news. And I'm like, oh, this explains it all right here real quick. But that's the point of like, when you really meet and you get to hear, like the same way you're hearing their local story, you're bringing them your local story as well. So it's bettering the world if you travel.
Yes. And you're right. I have plenty of friends who are abroad and they're like, oh, well, I thought this was happening. And I'm like, no.
Right.
I'm like, maybe in a broad scale, but like, oh, did you see what happened in Chicago or Portland? I'm like, I live like multiple hours away. That's like states away. I know what's happening. It's not happening here.
Yeah.
Or, oh, this happened in Florida. And I'm like, Florida's its own country.
Well, you know, it's trying to get your attention. You know, we've seen it living here, where they're like, oh, it's mad hurricane storms and it looks like it's blowing, and then the couple walking hand in hand behind them on the beach. And so it happens in our own backyard, the level of deception that happens with the screen. So that's why it's like you help break down that barrier for those people as well, because they think based on what they see the same way we think based on what we see. But humanity reveals the truth when we get together.
Yeah. So later on today, we have Sean Batts coming on, and he spent some time up in Asheville after the hurricanes came through up there. Was it last year? 2 years ago?
It was last year.
Last year. And he was saying the same thing to me when we talked about it prior. Is he was like, you see one thing on the news and you go there, and he was like, never before have, like, you see something on the news, it's typically like way worse than it actually is.
Absolutely.
He was like, this was the only time that was the opposite.
Yeah.
Because you looked at it and you're like, oh wow, that's kind of bad. He goes, then I went there and he was like, and it was 10 times worse. And he was like, and I just really feel like I needed to go there and bring like the information back and be like, hey, we need more help than what people are saying we need up there. Like, let's get going.
Because that's, I think part of that too is like, it's entertainment. It's trying to keep us entertained. And they're like, oh, well, this is not as entertaining when we can go to this. But no, there's still people hurting.
Yes.
And there's still people. And that's where actually too, it goes back to the whole thing about younger and traveling. It's like, I always hate when the disaster relief happens. And especially say with the churches, only the young and the elderly can go because they're the ones that have time. And I'm like, no, I want to be able to go.
Yeah.
I'm still fit to run up that mountain. Like
Exactly,
I want to
yeah.
go there and do those type of things. And so I think that it's really important to kind of look at things a little bit different than the financial, or is the timing just right, where there's no such time as this for us to be able to see, do, and contribute. And
So it reminds me of this question. I figured you're the perfect person to ask. Same with Tyler. So hypothetically, if you had unlimited expenses for travel, everything, whatever, you could do it up until the age of 40. And then at 40, you had to work for 30 years straight. No fun vacations, no nothing. Or you could retire at 40 and then just travel then. Which would you take? The travel pre-40 or travel post-40?
I'm just gonna go and say I travel post 40 only just because of the wisdom.
Right.
Like you let me do that too early. I mean,
Good point.
I just know myself.
Okay.
Like I'm so blessed that I want to get smarter and wiser. Like even the way I look at drinking, I look at fitness, or look at the travel. Like it would have been all party, where so this is one of the things that I think that we're always operating one of three, and you got to find the balance, the harmony of it, because there's a time for all of it. It's consumption, contribution, and creativity. And if I would have done that at a younger age, it would have just been nothing but consumption. It's just like consume, fun, party, and that. Now it'd be like, I'd go into like, well, how can I contribute?
Mm-hmm.
Like, and what can I create of this time and experience? And there will be some consumption, but like, into it, I'd be questioning, what am I consuming? Like as a younger, I know I was consuming a lot of alcohol, a lot of fun, and a lot of party. Like, but now it's like, well, I'd be hunting for like a good cultural conversation.
Right.
And so I just know, like mentally for me, like the maturity in me needs to do that.
Yeah.
Wants to do it now. Like, and I would be brain dead to even work at 40.
It's probably a good point.
Same point for you.
Yeah. You don't know what you don't know. And that's a good point. If I could just take all that time to gain what I would hopefully know at the age of 40, to take it on. Because 40 is still, especially what we've been talking about, 40 is really young.
I love 40, man. I love it just because of the wisdom,
Right.
And the working on your mindset, wanting to work on others, and seeing life at a different. Now, I definitely had fun leading up to it, had a really great time, and I don't really have too many regrets. And I made a lot of great friends and live in such a cool place. I'm very thankful. Got a great wife that we're still rocking it. But even that, like, I'm like more appreciative of my marriage, even though, I mean, I think the only thing that has changed is the way I look at it. And just like, wow, like this is cool. I got this, and I'm working on this. Like as I make a goal, all right, what's the marriage goal? Like I just would not have looked at that way. You know, I probably would have ruined that.
Right.
I love to hear that.
We are starting to come up on our time, but I'd be remiss if I don't talk to you about this. I know you're all about finding the best version of yourself and going to Ultra with Brandon Bouchard and stuff.
Yeah.
So what are you working on right now? What are you excited about?
Oh, man, I love that you asked me that, because I am excited and I want to share it, because it's just, I have been working just on the way I think.
Mm.
The way I think. Like, what am I thinking about? How is this thought making me feel? Is this thought even relevant? Do I need to think about this now, or can that thought wait until we get there? Because I heard a really cool quote. I think it's a Buddhist quote. It says, like, we wrestle more than thought than we do in reality.
Mhm.
And I could be sitting here right now panicking about Monday when it's like, let's just have a good conversation with Chris and Tyler. And scripture tells us, like, tomorrow will worry about itself. There's enough worries in today. And also says we don't wrestle against flesh and blood. It's like a lot of it's just in your head. So it's the way of, like, literally, me and my wife have a weird text, and I'm sitting in the driveway. I'm like, okay, think about this, TJ. You can go in there and you can talk about this weird text that you're battling on, or you can just go in there and smile and hug her. Like, you start thinking about those things because I start feeling the tension. So really just thought life, man. And it has brought me so much joy just by identifying my own weaknesses, my own negative thinking, and trying to, like, work on reprogramming. I'm reading a book right now called The Power of Decision, and has been such a cool unlock of just, like, a lot of times we're making our decisions based on our limited beliefs in self and others and circumstances, and learning that, identifying that, okay, what can I choose to do different that I can change the atmosphere of this? And even too, because we just, a lot of times we'll wrestle and thought, oh, wait till I see them, I'm gonna say da 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 da. When it's like, okay, TJ, you're at that place. Let's just talk about how much you love that person, how much that person loves you. God tells you to love them unconditionally. Like, just start, like, changing the direction of the thought if I'm going to think about it.
Yeah. Anyone who's listening right now that also wrestles with those intrusive thoughts, what's a good first step for them?
Identifying it.
Okay.
Just identifying it. And identifying that thought, because it could be a good thought. It's so funny. Back when I was getting my real estate license, I ended up passing a test, and it was a pre-test. And I was like, you know what? I want to celebrate stuff like it pisses me off. Like, because, if you felt like you'd be all mad all week, I can't believe it, I messed up, or she said this, da, 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 da. And so, like, every, like, 20 minutes, it's like, babe, pass that real estate test. And then, like, I even still look at it, it's like, I passed my real estate test. I just want to get in that point where, because it's, your brain is thinking something.
Yeah.
And, like, let's make it of value. Like, let's make it of something that serves you or serves someone else, versus, like, I can't wait if they do this. I can't believe. It's like, well, I love that person. I want what's best for that person. Like, even this is the stranger that cut me off in traffic. Man, I hope they get there on time. I'm glad it didn't happen.
Right.
And whatever the case may be, like, maybe I hope they decide to take driving classes. Who knows? But it's that positive place that you can do. But I think the first thing is to identify it, because once you identify it, then you can make a decision. Because if I don't realize it, I'm just sitting in my car driving for 30 minutes talking about how I'm going to beat my wife in this argument when I get home. Next thing you know, you're home, like, all right, let's go. But, like, what if I just been like, man, I'm still married to the girl I've been with since 10th grade. This is really cool. She's actually really smart. So if I can't, like, I mean, whatever the case may be, like, something of positive, but really identify it, and then you can do something with that.
That's awesome. Thanks for sharing that with us.
No problem.
I like it. So, for those who might need your assistance in the future, where can they find Synergy?
You can go online. You can look up Synergy Home Care of Cape Fear. As I said, we're an in-home non-medical care provider. You could also reach us by phone, dialing 910-408-5390.
Perfect. And while you were talking about that, I actually thought of two different people I need to let know about your services, because we were literally just talking about it on Friday.
Yeah.
So
I appreciate
I'm glad.
you.
I knew there was a reason why you were coming on today.
There's always a reason. I just hope and pray that this has been a blessing to y'all, and whoever listens. It's always an honor to be on this thing, on Whiskey and Wisdom. This is not a thing. This is something special that you all have. So thanks for bringing communities together, whether it's entrepreneurs or who, it doesn't matter. It's just so cool to hear how people do life. And I think that when people just share thoughts, they were never the only person thinking that. So it's always going to be of value. So you guys are creating an environment for people to share thoughts and ways of being that is truly a blessing.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
No problem.
Thank you for coming on. It's been fun. Thank you guys for listening. Follow us on all the socials, like, comment, share, subscribe, and we'll catch you in the next one. Cheers.
Cheers.